This video was created using PowerPoint narration and then saved as a movie file. If you want to learn more, check out the YouTube link. I hope this video both inspires and provides you the guidance that you need to finish off your project and to do an exceptional job. I created this video for two purposes today. First, to provide the entire group, the entire class, feedback from the prototype exercise. Second, I wanted to provide further guidance to help inform the project that's due in 1 week. I would like to thank all the teams for submitting the activity. I hope extra time helped you learn more about how to create a video prototype. I'd like to summarize the feedback in 3 areas. First, practice using PowerPoints with narration. Recognizing most of you have been focused on essays as a deliverable for school projects, I wanted each team to get a taste of how it works before the final project. Second is I wanted to give you guys some feedback on your ideas to date. While I have already posted feedback in D2L for your individuals team feedback, I also wanted to provide all teams with some general feedback. And lastly, I wanted to look at storyboarding as a prototyping technique. I would say only about half the teams really created a proper storyboard as a form of prototype. So I will share my thoughts. First, my number one reason for doing this activity was to make you familiar with how to create a video using PowerPoint's narration feature. I can confidently say that all teams now know how to do this. I watched 33 videos. I can say that the number one thing to learn is to narrate and not read your script. That means things like speed up the speech. Think of telling the story, not reading the script. It's really helped me. I actually stand up and perform the video as I'm narrating it. Lastly, when you submit your final project, I'm going to ask you, you still need to submit it as a narrated PowerPoint slide deck with your script notes in the notes section, but also as a .move version of the file. To do this, simply follow the instructions on the YouTube video link posted. It's very easy. For feedback on your ideas, I have 3 themes to share with you. First, there is a lot of similar ideas. Your ability to tell the story using evidence, having an overall theme to your solution, and using visuals that support your story will become very, very important. I feel that many teams will have the same ideas, so that if you want to be one of the 4 finalists who does not write the final exam, it will require lots of additional effort and teamwork. It's going to be very important that you don't just have one idea. Stay focused on ideas that are inspirational, connected, and relevant. As an example, one team had an idea for a self-service kiosk available in multiple languages, which could provide directions, sent to smart voter printed out, pay for transit, and other information. But they said it was going to be located at subway terminals throughout Toronto. How is that connected to the challenge of improving the experience for TTC from Pearson? The other thing we want you thinking about is desirability, feasibility, and viability. I have 2 examples. The first around feasibility. One group had an idea where they said, let people bring their international change, quarters, dimes, nickels, or whatever is in their foreign currency, and be able to use that at the machine to buy their tickets for their trip. Well, if you actually think this isn't really feasible, think about it. Have you ever been to a money exchange that's allowed you to put US quarters and get US bills back, or Canadian bills, or Euro coins or Mexican pesos in coins and get bills back? I don't think it's something that they do. The other one that's kind of more interesting is to think about the viability of an idea. There was more than one team that had the idea that we should staff at the airport for the TTC. And, we call them concierges, we call them ambassadors, whatever you want. let's think through the viability of this. Well, you got one staff person at each bus stop, plus maybe one at the subway. There's two bus stops, in other words, one at Terminal 1, one at Terminal 3. There's 3 people there. Well, in order to have 3 people working, you probably need 4 because one person needs to cover breaks and lunches and stuff like that. You probably also need to staff it for 18 hours per day from 6 a.m. to midnight. They would also need to budget somewhere around $25 per hour for all in. Remember, if somebody makes $20 an hour, you need to include things like benefits and other costs, which can be 20 to 25% of their overall salary. This would be for 365 days. Without including the cost of administration or management of such staff, this idea has now become a $657,000 annual cost. Wow. Is that going to be really worth it? The idea, if it is that expensive, better really inspire people and attract more passengers for the TTC. Storyboarding is a simple and easy way to create a prototype. Many of the teams did not really understand storyboarding and instead used it as a way to pitch their idea. It's not a pitch, but a way to tell a story about how a user interacts with an idea. Only about half the teams actually put the user at the center of the storyboard. So you really want to do that. It's a way for you to share how a user will interact with your idea, not your idea. It's, again, empathy and understanding of the user. The other thing I've realized is this experiment thing, you guys aren't getting it. Unfortunately, after we did experiments in the weekend workshops and briefly spoke to them in the last class, I do not think students really understand what they are and how to do them. For this reason, your focus for your project will be on creating a prototype using the storyboard technique, and do not worry at all about the rules of the experiment. Do not attempt to think about an experiment in the presentation of your final project. So, where are we at today? Today is March 30th. The university's closed, and I'm creating this video for you. You have exactly 1 week from now to submit your final project. So, it's when the pedal hits the metal. After watching 33 videos with many ideas, I would like to share with you some general feedback for the project that your team should be thinking about. I will share these ideas with you one slide at a time so that they may more clearly be communicated. I've been getting many messages about what to include in the project. In the past, all I've done is share the rubric and some sample projects. I'm going to try to remain consistent with that approach. This assignment is not meant to be a fill-in-the-blank here and post there and record. It's meant to really challenge your teamwork, problem solving, and creativity skills. To help the groups, I have posted many different videos of past top candidate projects for you to learn from. They're in D2L. Previously, I've only showed you when Sally meets Ron. But now, using the video creation tool in PowerPoint, I have created videos for other projects. None of these videos are absolutely perfect, but they should give you an idea of where the project needs to be. It's very important. None of these videos had to include a video storyboard. That's new for the winter of 2018. Also, some other things previously highlighted. 10 to 15 minute videos and 10 to 20 minute slides. Many groups are installing some sort of technology. I want you to think carefully about location at the airport. Be specific and share why you are locating your technology where you're locating it. Think about it. Pearson Airport handles over 40 million passengers, 400,000 flights, and takes up almost 6 million square feet of space. So, a simple thing saying, I'm going to locate it at the arrivals gate. Well, let's think about that. Arrivals gate at Terminal 1 or Terminal 3, or both. Arrivals gate at international and domestic at Terminal 1 and Terminal 3, or both. Do you mean the luggage area? Do you mean the information stop? Do you mean a bus stop? Lots of different locations. And then further to complicate it, what about on the bus at Kipling Station? If you're looking for ideas and you're trying to figure out where to locate things, I would encourage you to Google Pearson Airport terminal maps, and you'll be connected with some awesome visuals to be able to use. While your team will have multiple ideas, I remind you to think about what makes a good idea. Inspiration, connected, and relevant. But your solution needs to be desirable, feasible, and viable. Remember the story earlier whereby a simple post a staff there solution could cost $667,000 per year. Before I end this slideshow, I want to remind you of three things. Your prototype is not your project. It was an in-class activity meant to get you familiar with creating narrated PowerPoint slides. If you're looking for inspiration, look at the sample videos posted. You can get an expectation of the projects. Very important when you look at those samples that you understand that they had different requirements back in 2016 and 2017 than you have today in 2018. Most importantly, good luck, and if you have other questions, feel free to post them in the discussion board, and I will attempt to get back to you as soon as possible.